All right, all right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you around the world. My name is Eric F. King, calling in from Virginia here in the United States. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited today because of the speaker that I'm going to introduce to you. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Eric F. King, and I help entrepreneurs triple their sales, boost their income, without being pushy or salesy or sleazy. All right. And we have started a series of calls every day featuring a world class speaker each day. And today I have the honor of presenting to you Mr. Izu Samuel. So I'm going to start by speaking a little bit and then I'll bring him up. But first off, I just want to say hello to Izu. Izu, if you can just say hi to everybody so they can hear you.
Yes, hello, my friend, and very good to be on this call.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, so I'm going to dive into it. This is a call is no more than 30 minutes. Today, I'm going to talk about the power of storytelling. The power of storytelling. Okay, so one of the things I teach is how to build your business using stories, and I'm going to start with my story. All right, so when I was in college, I was a marketing major. And my goal was to work for a marketing company and maybe get into advertising. I thought that would be fun and exciting. So I was hired by a company called Xerox, okay, the copier company. And at the time, it was a Fortune 100 company. So it was like Google or Apple. It was one of the best companies in the world to work for. And I got hired by them, but they told me that they're going to put me in sales. And I didn't want to be in sales because I didn't like sales. So I called my dad. My dad was a realtor. My dad was a realtor in Nigeria. He had a real estate company. And I told him, and he said, so I said, I have good news and bad news. I said, the good news is I got hired by Xerox. But the bad news is they want me to be in sales. So he started laughing and he said, that is good news. He said, because if you learn sales, you can use it in anything you do in life, right? So, he advised me to take the job and learn how to sell. So I took the job. 60 days into it, I hadn't sold one copier, not one. And at the time, they let you sell things like paper and toner and supplies. I couldn't even sell paper. That's how bad I was. And so I called my dad again. And I said, Dad, I can't sell anything, so I think I'm going to quit before they fire me. And he said, don't quit. He said, here's what I advise you to do. Find someone that sells the way you feel comfortable selling. And you can learn how to sell because selling is a learned skill. So I found a guy, his name was Brian. He was one of the top reps in the whole company. And I asked him if I could shadow him. In other words, if I can follow him around to see how he does what he does. And I found out that he wasn't pushy. He wasn't salesy. He made friends with people. He got to know people and their families. He will find out their problems with their business, and then he would recommend a copier that solves their problems. And I was blown away by this. I said, wow, maybe I can do this. So anyway, I started to follow him. I started to learn his strategies. And within 18 months, I became one of the top reps in the company. I was making six figures in my early 20s, too much money for at that age because I spent it all. And I was winning. I was on trips to Hawaii. I was getting awards because I learned a system that is what I call compassionate selling. It wasn't traditional, it was compassionate. Okay. And that's how I became a vice president of sales. And then I got into entrepreneurship, started building businesses, and now I help entrepreneurs sell their offers. All right. So I started with that story because I want you to see the power of stories. If I gave you a whole bunch of facts, you probably will forget. But because I told you a story, you'll probably remember forever, right? So here's why you want to tell stories. Number one, stories are emotional, right? They bring out the emotion in people, and people buy because of emotion and not logic. So you want to tell stories. Stories are, they're relatable. They're relatable. So I had a client. She's over 50, and she teaches people that are over 50 how to do videos online, like on YouTube, right? And that's her niche. So I asked her, I said, so how do you do that? Because, in my experience, most people over 50 don't want to do videos because, we didn't do videos when we were younger, right? There was no social media when they were younger. And she said, Eric, it's easy. What I do is I pull up YouTube and I show them all my clients that are over 50. I say, he's 65, he's 70, he's 72. And when they see that, they're like, oh, I can do this. And then they do it. You see, so stories are relatable. They can relate to it. Stories are also indisputable. Indisputable. In other words, you can't argue with a story, right? So let's say you are in the health and wellness space and you sell maybe shakes or products that can help people lose weight. Now, you can tell your prospect all the benefits of your product, and they can tell you, well, you know what? There's a company that has better products. They've been around longer, the products are better, and you can go back and forth arguing, right? But if you ask the prospect, so what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And he says, I want to lose 30 pounds in 4 months. And then you say, why? And he said, well, because I want to be able to play with my kids, run around and things like that. And then you say, you know what? You remind me of Jim. You see, when Jim came to me, he had similar goals. He wanted to lose about 35 pounds in about 4 months. He used this shake and he used this chocolate bar and whatever, and he was able to lose that weight. And now he's healthier. I see him on the field playing with his kids. And you're like, wow, that's amazing, right? Because it's a story. You cannot dispute a story. And lastly, stories are inspirational. They inspire people to action, right? So I had a client who came to me a few years ago, and she said that the reason she can't sell is because in her industry, people have to sign a contract for 2 months, and people don't like signing contracts. Actually, it was three months. People don't like signing contracts. I said, how much is a contract? She said $3,000. I said, people love signing contracts if the value is there, right? I signed a contract to buy my car. I signed a contract to build a house. I sign contracts all the time. So then I told her a story of another client of mine who was in a similar situation. She had a contract with us 6 months. And this is what I told her to do. I said, you have to change your mindset from saying people won't sign my contract to saying people love signing contracts from me. People love buying from me. People love doing business with me. So I said, change the contract to a 12-month contract. She said, are you sure? Will people buy? I said, yes, if you show value. So she created a 12-month contract. She met with the gentleman for 45 minutes. The guy said, how long is the contract? She said, it's 12 months. She said, where do I sign? She signed the contract, and the lady called me. She was in tears. She said, Eric, you'll never believe it. I made $12,000 in 1 day. And since then, she's done 2 in 1 day, $24,000 in 1 day. So when I told this client of mine, she said, oh, I can do it, right? Stories inspire people to take action, all right? So that's what I want to share with you. But now I want to bring up our speaker, okay, Izu Samuel. Let's see, I don't see him here. One second. Izu, are you on with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Okay, I don't see you in the dashboard, but we can hear you. Perfect. Okay, right. So let me give you an appropriate introduction. So Izu Samuel is a world-class communication specialist. Okay, he is a TEDx speaker. He is a public speaking trainer, and people come to him from all over the world to learn how to communicate, to learn how to speak on stages. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the mic over to Izu Samuel, all the way from Nigeria. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric, for that fantastic introduction and for what you already said concerning the power of storytelling. And every single thing you said resonated with me for the number of years I've been in this industry, 10 years plus counting. And I'd like to say hello to every blessed person who is listening in and who would listen into this great and fantastic conversation. So I'd like to say this, Mr. Eric. Storytelling is one of the most effective forms of communications. I realize that lots of people struggle when it comes to communicating, sharing their ideas, and also connecting with people. But one of the easiest ways to make that to become really possible is when people understand how to tell their stories. Two important things. One, the kind of a story that converts is the story that resonates with people. I realize that we are in a time, in a season across the globe where people's attention to information is becoming shortened per day. So the easiest way to keep them listening to you, keep them connected to you, your business, your personal business, corporate business, is by sharing a story that resonates with those people. And the second thing I'm going to share is this, that your story is directly proportionate to your experiences. So every business, every individual, you have an experience. And what makes your experience to be tangible is when you can come to the point where you can use your experience as a tool to inspire as many other people as possible. So Mr. Eric, one of my clients was asking me, Izo, what is the difference between experience and story? And I said to my clients that experience doesn't have what is called a resolution, but a story has what is called a resolution. Resolution doesn't have to do with the lessons you learn from your experience. Resolution has to do with the instantaneous emotional connection that happens between the storyteller and the story listener. So in business, in both personal business, corporate business, when you understand the concept and the psychology of resolution, it helps you to be able to come to a point where you can share your story in a way that people will not only listen, but people will be compelled to take a necessary action that will produce a very important and value-driven result. So the final thing I'm going to say as I yield the mic to you, Mr. Eric, is this. If for anybody who is listening to me right now and you're wondering, I have so many experiences, but I don't even know if these experiences can amount to a tangible and relatable story. And I'm going to say this to you. You cannot tell if a story is powerful until the moment you decide to tell that story. Until the moment you decide to share that story, you cannot count down on what that story is about, because every story has the potential to inspire as many other stories as possible. In business, in your personal life, in your family, when you share a story, many other people are inspired to tell their own stories, to share their own stories. So I just wanted to bring this value to the table this morning or this afternoon, my own time, and I'm very sure that whoever listens to me right now, the call to action or the call to value I want to go away with is this. Say less of anything you want to say and pay more attention to saying a lot of stories, sharing more stories, share more stories, keep delivering more stories, because the world is going to be a place where people rapidly want to pay attention to what you want to say when a story is shared. My name is Izo Samuel. I believe that story is one of the most effective forms of communication. Over to you, Mr. Eric.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Izu, how can people reach you? Because I know people that are on the line today, some of them will want to talk to you, will want to meet with you, maybe get your coaching program. So, and people will listen to this recording for probably weeks and years to come, because I'm going to post it all over the place. So, how can they reach you?
Thank you so much, Mr. Eric. You can reach me on my LinkedIn page. You can reach me on my Instagram. You can also reach me if you are in Clubhouse. I'm one of the moderators on Breakfast with Champion. I'm always moderating every morning, 9 a.m. BST and 4 a.m. Eastern Time. So you can just come on there and you will be able to connect with me here on LinkedIn, Izo Samuel, on Clubhouse. Meet Izo Samuel, and in Clubhouse is Meet Izo Samuel. In Instagram, Meet Izo Samuel, and then here you can type Izo Samuel, IZU, then Samuel. Good to meet you, people, and I look forward to connecting with you all.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. That was amazing. The value that you gave us. I took notes and I learned a lot from just listening to you. Okay, you talk about how stories make people take action, and it's funny because I said something similar, and I never told you what I'm going to talk about this morning, right? So he just came up with that, right? It's brilliant, and the kind of information you learn here today, and you'll learn every day, is information that can literally transform your life. All right. Much of the things that you're going to hear from these speakers, they tell their coaching clients that pay them, a lot of money. But I told them to share that with my audience. I said, I want you to give them your best stuff, right? So I want to thank Easy for that. And like I said, I'm going to share this. And if you're on this call, make sure you tell more people about this call. Don't keep it to yourself. We want to share the news. We want hundreds of people to be on this call every morning to get inspired and to learn and to take action to change their lives. All right, so go to my page, Eric F. King. Follow me so you can get updates on my events. Okay, go to Izu's page, follow him. If you are interested in learning about my coaching program, go to successwitheric.com. Successwitheric.com. That's Eric with a C. And click on Work With Me. There you will see a lot of testimonials of people that have taken my class, and you can learn from them by watching them, because I think what they say actually means a lot more than what I say. All right, so you can go there, and also if you want to pick up my free ebook, when you go on my site, you'll see it right there. The 5 Secrets to Selling. You can pick it up there. All right, so I'm not going to spend a long time here after the speaker, but I just want to tell you a few things. Is number one, always believe in yourself. Okay, the most important thing in business and in life is to believe in yourself. Right? Some people, they get a lot of education, but they don't work on themselves. Work on yourself. I was blessed in my early 20s to meet mentors that taught me about personal development, that taught me about getting better. Right? That made me look at the world differently than most people. I literally thought that I had a competitive edge over my friends because of my mindset was different. Right? I lived a better lifestyle. I made more money, right? Not because I was a better person, it was because I developed myself. So you want to come to these calls so you can continue to develop yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, borrow my belief in you. You have what it takes to be successful. You just need to apply yourself. All right, apply yourself. Get around people that can help you. Stay away from toxic people, people that don't believe, people that they're critics. Stay away from them. Don't tell them your plans. That's it. Don't tell them your plans. Right? Just talk to the people that matter. All right. And then lastly, I was talking to a gentleman a few days ago. Obviously, I won't mention his name, but he was telling me about how much that he said he comes from a poor family, and he said his dad. He looks up to his dad because his dad is a respectable man, but his dad doesn't make much money, right? So I gave him this advice. Here's my advice to you. You have to find somebody that has what you want. That's the person you emulate in business. If you want to make $500,000 a year and your dad makes $50,000 a year, you can love your dad, but don't take his advice to make $500,000 a year, right? Even though he's a good man, yeah, and you can respect him. In my culture, we respect our parents, right? We respect our parents. You can respect your parents, you can respect your uncle, you can respect anybody, but only take advice from someone that has experience in what you want to accomplish. All right? That's some advice to you that I'm going to give you that could be life-changing to you, because a lot of people spend time listening to the wrong people, and they mess up their entire life because they're listening to the wrong people. Take advice from people that can actually help you get to your goal. So I'm going to end with that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Izu, for coming on. And like I said, we'll be here tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern time. And we're here Tuesday through Friday on this call, and then we have a call Monday Motivational Hour on LinkedIn Audio. So connect with me on LinkedIn and you will get the information. So thank you, everybody, for the people that are here. Congratulations for being intentional about your success, and we'll see you tomorrow. Make it a great day.